This is the plaintiff, Christopher Shaw. He says he was forced to hire an attorney to evict the defendant from a house he owned. Turns out the defendant is a professional rent scammer who's been evicted numerous times before. Moving forward, he's learned a very valuable lesson about doing the proper research on prospective tenants for the future. But right now, he wants the $700 the defendant owes him, and that's why he's suing. This is the defendant, LaShonda Harris. She says the plaintiff is a landlord from you-know-where. It was terrible renting from him, and she most definitely doesn't owe him a thing. That's right. Let's see if he can walk out of here with any more of her money. No way he's gonna win. No way, no way, no way at all. She's accused of being a troubled tenant. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $657.65 for all she's out.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Christopher Shaw, you are suing LaShonda Harris for $700 in attorney's fees that you expended in an eviction case against her. You are counterclaiming against him $657.65 in fees you do not feel you should have incurred and feel are his fault that you had to spend those monies. All right, let's start with you. She was a tenant in a house or an apartment?
In a house, private house, Your Honor.
Okay, and she was renting the whole house?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and it was you and who else was living there?
Me and my 3 children.
3 children. All right, now Section 8 was helping you pay your
Yes.
rent? And Section 8 is a government program that, based upon need, might help people to pay their rent.
Exactly.
All right, you lived there for how long?
Approximately 11 and a half months.
All right, and then what went wrong from your perspective?
Well, the first 2 months, I had no problems with Miss Harris. She paid her rent on time, and then from then on, she just stopped paying.
Wait, did you go pick it up and she wasn't there? What would happen when you go pick it up?
When I went to pick it up, she told me she didn't have it. And I also noticed that I had destruction of property, and I didn't really care for Miss Harris was being very disrespectful to me, and
so you wanted to break the lease. You wanted to end the lease because you
Yes.
felt that she was destroying your property.
Yes, that too.
So you filed a case in November with a lawyer
Yes,
for eviction.
yes.
And what happens with that case?
Well, my lawyer was negotiating with the Section 8 coordinator in East Orange Housing Authority, and I have emails with the negotiation, and they were scheduling for Miss Harris to move to another place.
Right. And I saw those emails. Your lawyer tells the worker for Section 8 that if she moves out, you'll dismiss the case, and then she moved out and you dismissed the case. Was there ever any negotiation to cover your attorney's fees?
No, there was no negotiation to cover my attorney fee.
Did you tell your lawyer you wanted him to negotiate that?
Well, my lawyer had mentioned it to me. And what happened was my lawyer, I think her father had passed away, so I didn't get to talk to her for a few months, but she advised me to file a complaint in regards to my attorney fee for $700.
Do you have proof that you paid the lawyer $700?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I see it?
I have a receipt.
So you don't like to pay rent?
It's not that I don't like to pay rent. I paid my rent to him. I have my receipts.
Okay, so show me receipts for rent from August until you moved out in February.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Okay, this is a receipt for $160.
That was the retainer.
Do you have proof that you paid a lawyer? You've come to court to sue for a $700 fee you paid a lawyer. May I please see the proof of the very thing you've come to court to sue for?
Well, I spoke to my attorney, and my attorney told me that the retainer was sufficient. And
You need a new attorney. All this could possibly prove is that you paid $160. That's the best this can prove, because that's all this says. How could this prove you paid $10,000 or $700 or $1,700 or $17,000? It can't prove something other than what it says.
Yes.
If your attorney really told you that, You need a new attorney.
Yeah.
But that's kind of insane that you come to court to sue for something that you brought no proof of. Well, I don't know why I say it's insane. It happens to me every day.
I'm sorry, but that right there is for October. I don't have the other ones, but here's the paperwork
I thought you said
here.
you paid all the time and you had
Yeah, I
receipts
do.
all the time.
No, he does. What it is Chris doesn't come with receipts when he comes to collect
Then
your
don't
money.
pay him my money.
I have
You have
to
a piece
do
of toilet
Section
paper
8.
in your house?
That's why I have
Do
this.
you have a piece of toilet paper in your house?
Yes, Your
Do
Honor,
you
and
have
that's
a
why I have this.
Do you have a crayon?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then you take the nearest roll of toilet paper and the nearest crayon, and then you know how to do it. So show me if you paid it, because you know how to do it.
Yeah, but I don't have it all. And if I write it now in front of you, that would be a lie. So I don't have
Okay,
it all.
I don't
but
think you're
what I have
picking up
right
what I'm
here-
putting down, woman. I'm
No,
not
I'm
asking
just
for you to
saying
forge
in
it. I'm asking for you, if you paid it, don't
No.
pay it unless you get a
Well,
receipt.
here's October.
That's all you got, October and all those months?
Yeah, because any other month he was coming to pick it up with no problem. Then once it came time for him to pay for the oil, which he was responsible for come September,
It says
he
who
straight
he's
disappeared.
responsible. You've said that, and that's part of your counterclaim against him.
It's in the lease.
Show me in the lease where it says he has to pay oil. Who's supposed to pay the oil?
Me.
Is it in the lease?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that the agreement you had with her, for you to pay the oil?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can stop looking. Whether it's in there or not, he just said he had that agreement with you. So, all right, now, so the next question that I have for you is, you think he just made himself scarce anytime oil needed to be purchased?
Yes, that is true. I have the receipts to show that I
How many
purchased
times did
oil.
you purchase oil?
I purchased oil over 10 times, but
How much money did you spend purchasing oil?
over $1,000 and some change. And I have the receipts to prove it.
And did you ever tell him, I'm deducting from the rent I owe you the $1,000?
No, this is how it went. East Orange Property Maintenance came through, and I only had to move out because I was forced to move out because they said to me that I had to pay the rent. Now, through Section 8.
You're the little part of the rent you have to pay,
Now,
yes.
through
okay.
Section 8, they called East Orange Housing Authority. East Orange Housing Authority came in. The temperature of the house was under whatever. I have the reports. They're saying that it was unsafe for my 7-year-old to be there because my 2 older children was of age.
I'm not understanding you. You moved out because it was condemned?
No, I moved out because they were saying that he claimed to Section 8 that he didn't know that I was putting the oil in. Section 8 told me no longer put the oil in after I gave them the receipts to prove that I was putting the oil in. They're giving me 30 days to move or they were going to take my 7-year-old away from me. So I had no choice.
Wait, stop.
I can show you the report.
Housing authority said they'd take your kid away.
No, that's not what I said. They said that they will call DIFUS to have DIFUS take my child away, which is BCW in New
If you
York.
continue to live,
In the house with no heat because a man came and he gave me oil 3 separate times without Chris's permission. And what he said was, I can no longer give you oil unless we speak to Mr. Shaw.
That's not true, Your Honor. I have the oil receipts.
okay, she has oil receipts. Show me your oil receipts.
Bank statements, too.
How often do you guys have to fill up the oil?
Look, what happened was she agreed to pay for the oil because I had a 6-bedroom house and she had a 4-bedroom voucher. So she made an oral agreement with me that she would pay for the oil delivery. So she made that agreement with me.
No, I did not.
Okay.
No, I did
And
not.
then she decided
Why
that she
would she
couldn't
do
afford
that
the
for
oil
you? What in return for you doing what for her?
because what happened was I gave her 2 extra bedrooms in the house. It was a 6-bedroom house.
Does Section
and-
8 know anything about this? So we're
Well,
doing this kind
we-
of under the table without Section 8 knowing?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Do you think the system is unfair to landlords?
Absolutely.
Why do you say?
They have a right to make a decent living, and they're giving someone a place to live, and someone's disrespecting them. They should have the right to get rid of them.
Do you think tenants abuse the system a lot?
I think a lot of times they do, yeah, definitely.
Unfair to landlords?
Oh, yeah, that's big.
I'm interested. Are you a tenant or a landlord?
I am actually a landlord now.
Oh, I was wondering. I thought, oh, God, that's such a nice thing you said. You're a landlord. It's all self-interest, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, got your point. Go inside the courtroom.
I could have got a Section 8 tenant with a 6-bedroom voucher, and it would have covered everything, all the expenses. But she wanted the 6-bedroom house for her
I want a
children.
6-bedroom house.
And she made an oral agreement with me in the beginning
That she would pay for the
that she would pay the oil.
with
and
a
then
voucher?
No, she was going to pay for herself. And then what happened, she had financial difficulties. She couldn't pay for it. So then I took over the oil payments for her.
Start talking.
He's lying.
And I got to tell you, that has a kind of ring of truth to it.
That doesn't even make any sense because Section 8 came out to do the inspection before I moved into the home with a 4-bedroom voucher. Through Section 8, if your rent is, let's just say, for example, your voucher is a 4-bedroom, but your voucher dollar is $16.75, you can get a 10-bedroom house as long as your voucher amount doesn't go over the $16.75. He's not telling the truth. I never agreed to paying no oil.
No, I never.
You know what? I don't know why I'm wasting my time because I don't want to try to figure out what fraud was being committed on Section 8 or help you to get the benefit of your fraud. If you're trying to do something behind Section 8's back, then you should both get in trouble with Section 8. I have enough jobs here. All right. Okay, so let's talk about this. How much was her rent a month?
Around $400 a month.
How much
He's not
was your...
telling the truth.
Okay, show me, prove to me through the Section 8 documents what your portion of the rent was.
This right here is for September. You see, September.
And then it
This right
changed
here
again
is
in
for
another month?
October, yes, because
Okay.
what it is...
It's fine, and then from October forward, it's the same?
Uh-huh.
Okay, got it. Show me proof that you had to evacuate because there was no oil.
This is from the inspector. Wait, I'm sorry. This is from the inspector.
Just give me the proof that you had to leave.
I'm giving it to you now,
Okay, so hand it all at once.
and that one too.
Okay. Show me where they tell you you have to evacuate.
East Orange property
Can you
maintenance.
show me, listen to my
Here it is
question. I don't
here.
want to hear any more where you
Here it
tell
is
me about
here.
it. Okay, that's what I've asked for that document. Let's see if this says it. You have to evacuate. That's
Oh,
what
none of them say
Not
that
a
I
pa-
have
You don't
to-
have a stitch of paper that says you have to evacuate. Okay.
No, none of them
Got
say
it.
that I have
The
to
lease then
evacuate.
would have gone on until when?
It would have gone on to February
February 1st.
2014.
And you acknowledge that your lawyer sent an email to the housing authority saying if your client leaves, we will drop the case. You acknowledge that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now nobody talk anymore. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So what you did in your counterclaim is you deducted the amounts that you'd paid for the oil from what you perceive is the rent that you owed. The rent that you owed, according to my calculations, taking into account the receipt that you showed me for October and how your rent fluctuated and changed, would be a total of $2,517. If I subtract from that all your oil bills, and I ignore this testimony about a side deal and all this other stuff, then that would mean that you are still owing in rent and were able to get away with not paying $984 in rent. Which, if in fact that's the case, you should not collect any money on your counterclaim because you would still owe rent. So on your counterclaim against him, 0. Now let's talk about your attorney's fees. You have come to court to sue for one simple thing, $700 in attorney's fees. And you have brought to court no proof of $700 in attorney's fees. Yes. I've never seen anybody do that. I've seen lots of people come to court unprepared, but I have never seen anybody come to court so unprepared that they cannot get a receipt from their lawyer for $700 if they paid the lawyer $700. It's inexplicable that you would come into court to sue for one thing and not have the proof of it and only have a piece of paper that says $160. So there's no excuse for you coming here without any proof of that, okay?
Yes.
But aside from that, I have a settlement in an email between your lawyer and them that if she leaves, you'll drop the case. And now you're trying to revive the case and get $700 in attorney's fees out of it when that's not something that you got in the other case. So on your claim against her, 0. And on her claim against you, 0. Good luck, folks.
Well, Judge Milian unravels this mystery. Come on up here a little bit. Stand a little closer here and tell me what your feeling is on this verdict here.
Well, I can't complain. The judge makes a lot of sense with her decision. I wish I had my receipt for $700 instead of the retainer. But like I said, my attorney was having some problems and she couldn't give me that copy.
if you can't come to court with evidence, then you can't expect to win the decision.
Yes, I agree.
All right, so head around the corner that way, and let's see what the defendant has to add to this. There was no blood on either side. What's your feeling coming out?
I mean, it's okay. Once a liar, always a liar. So it's okay. He'll get it in the end. So it's okay.
You will?
Yes, he most definitely will. When you lie, nothing good happens for you. So it's okay.
Okay, Harvey.
Got to say, Kurt, it is bizarre and suspicious. Not having a key piece of evidence, it is a deal breaker.